It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
And welcome to the Action VR Network Christmas show here. I do have some breaking news that I am going to get into about the network, and we'll definitely be talking about it here a little later on here, but let's keep the song sets going here before we do talk anything here, and what better way to do it than to do it with this song here, and we're actually going to do the Johnny Mathis version of this song.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time.
eyes glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. We'll say, are you married? We'll say no, man. You can do the job when you're in town. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Come on, let's go out into the snow to a winter wonderland. Hat, gloves, boots, shawl, you better make sure you got them all. Please take my persuasion, cause outside everybody's having fun. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman until the other children come around. Is a mantle of white, a heaven of diamonds shine down through the night. Our hearts will be thrilling in spite of the chilling. Let's go walking in the snow in this wonderland. Let's go. We're walking in a winter wonderland.
Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing the bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's the swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle with the jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Come on. Snowing and blowing the bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Play it again. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's the swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in the jingling beat. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell.
that was great. Can we do it one more time, guys?
Here we go, we're rolling.
What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in the jingling beat. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell rock. Jingle, jingle, jingle bell rock. What a bright time. Jingle, jingle bell rock. It's the right time. Jingle, jingle bell rock. Sing it again now. Jingle, jingle, jingle bell rock. Come on now. Jingle, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell time. Jingle, jingle bell rock. It's a swell time. Jingle, jingle bell rock. One more time.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph, man, I'll make you fall behind. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa's got to make it to town. Santa, make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, 'cause I'm feeling like a merry-go-round. Send Santa to a boy child, what have you been longing for? All I want for Christmas is a rock and roll electric guitar. And then away went Rudolph, whistling like a shooting star. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa's got to make it to town. Santa, make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, I'm reading like a merry-go-round. Send Santa to a girl child, what would please you most to get? A little baby doll that can cry, sleep, drink, and wet. And then away went Rudolph, whistling like a saber jet. Whoa! Run, run, Rudolph, Santa's got to make it to town. Santa, make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, I'm reading like a merry-go-round. Run, run, Rudolph. 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 Hey!
All right, and I am here and definitely listening in here. And for those of you who are waiting to hear the big news about what's happening here, I am going to do that. We are going to talk about it. We are going to take our commercial break first before we do any of it. And, like I said, a lot of things to really talk about with this one here because a lot of people may already see it already too, and that's the other thing. A lot of people may already see it when they look on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, but I'm going to bring it all up here right after the commercial break, and like I said, there's a lot to get into on this one, and And, and like I said, this is going to mean a lot coming from what is happening here and what we feel we need to do. But let's take our commercial time out, and we will get into it. So we'll be back after our commercial time out and give you some more music and the news.
Canadian Aquatic Auctions, the place to be if you are into anything aquatic. Nelson Fletcher, owner and operator, has years of experience and wants to help you better achieve your aquatic needs and goals. So if you're an aquatic hobbyist and enthusiast, please visit Canadian Aquatic Auctions today. Their public auctions provide a venue to remarket all aquatic-related products, services, and equipment. If you are just starting out in the hobby, the site has a tack room where you can converse with other aquatic hobbyists like yourself. Canadian Aquatic Auctions is the eBay of everything aquatic. So visit Nelson at his site at www.aquariumauctions.ca or go check out his Facebook page as well at www.facebook.com/Canadian Aquatic Sales. Together we can build lasting relationships that are based on listening and servicing your needs in a professional environment. Canadian Aquatic Auctions.
My name's James. For 6 years, I was a garbage can druggie. I would do any kind of drug I would get my hands on. But here at Teen Challenge, I've walked away from that drug lifestyle for good.
If you know an adult or teenager who is struggling with a chemical addiction, Teen Challenge is there to help. Please, don't wait. Call us today at 417-862-6969 or reach us on the web at teenchallengeusa.com.
Skis Watch and Clock, 106 West Central Avenue, Winter Haven, Florida, 33880. Located downtown across from the main post office. When you're short on time, he's right on time. For all of your watch, clock, sales, and service needs, call Skis, 863-294-5630. Sales, service, free estimates, and reasonable rate. That's 863-294-5630 for Skis Watch and Clock.
This is our time. We play without limits. We create without rules. We are not for sale. We connect with the whole world. Every idea we've shaped, every relationship we've cultivated belongs to us. We demand the freedom to be our uncensored selves. And when something challenges that, we change it. Together. This is our time.
One, two, three.
Let's start a revolution. Let's MeWe. Join the revolution at MeWe.com.
Do you want to capture the best memories you can? Is wanting to help preserve those memories your goal? Do you want your memories to last a lifetime? Do you want your memories to look beautiful in pictures? Well, if you live in Southern Oregon or Northern California, there's one place you can save those treasures for a lifetime. Grateful Heart Photography. Abigail Summers is your solution for capturing your favorite moments and memories like birthdays, graduations, weddings, family portraits, single shots, and more. She can also capture the finest scenery shots around and make them available all across the country and around the world, and at a price that can suit your budget. So if you're looking for the right photographer that can help preserve your legacy, look no further than Abigail Summers at Grateful Heart Photography. Call Abby today at 541-951-2443 or message her at her Facebook page by searching for Grateful Heart Photography. Much of her work is displayed there. Feel grateful for the memories captured by Grateful Heart Photography.
If you're looking for action-packed classic fun, look no further.
Carter, the machine gun. Look out, Danny!
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
For the best in old-time radio adventures, you've come to the right place. This is one nostalgic weekend.
Saturdays and Sundays, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on Action VR Network.
It's all cold down along the beach. And the wind's whipping down the boardwalk. Hey, man! Hey, man! You guys know what time of year it is? What time? What? What? Oh, Christmas time. You guys all been good and practicing real hard? Yeah? Clients, you've been rehearsing real hard now. So Santa, bring you a new saxophone, right? Everybody out there been good or what? Oh, that's not many. You guys in trouble out here. And you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. You better be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not try. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Ho, 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 ho. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. You better be good for goodness sake. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. 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 Santa Claus is coming to town.
All right, we are back. And, Kat, if you want to be on the air with me for this announcement, I'll let you be on the air to get your thoughts. Chuck, if you're listening to this, you can be on here too and give your thoughts on this one here. I've decided to make some changes in a lot of things. You know, we're Action VR Network. We changed our name, of course, from the Wacko Radio Network to this. And, a lot had to do with this, with these changes, for the sake of really just becoming more professional with this. We still are going to have fun. We're still going to do all that. We're still going to do things like we like to do them. And, like I said, everything is going to be great. Kat, Chuck, if you guys want to call in and be a part of this, you can be. If you're going to wait for me to make the announcements, you could do that. But I've decided that some things needed to be done to keep the professionalism. And for those that have been following on Facebook and Twitter, have already seen it. And, and some people even here can see it too. Just in the name. As of right now, I have officially changed the name of Wacko Bob's Music Fest to the Action VR Network Christmas Music Show. We're actually gonna dump the music and just simply call it the Christmas Show, the Action VR Network Christmas Show, because we do more than just that. We do comedy and we do OTRs as well too. The big reason for that change, is because when I changed the name of the Wacko Radio Network and the Wacko Network, when I changed all that, I wanted something a little more professional. I want to, as we get closer and closer to legitifying the network, which has taken longer than expected, we knew some changes had to be made. One of them was in the name. One of them was, and that's when Action VR Network was born. I've also decided to get rid of the name Wacko Bob. I'm not the only one using the name Wacko Bob. I used it long before a group called Wacko Bob and the Skillet Lickers used them. You used the Wacko Bob name. But I never really copywritten that name and trademarked it, so I can't really do much there. Just like it was when someone decided they would steal my name and my initials to my wrestling show. And I think I know somebody had something to do with that, and I know who. I'm not going to mention that person's name because he doesn't deserve recognition. But the name Wacko Bob is pretty much gone. I'm pretty much now going to be using the name of Robert James. It's simple. It's easy. It's my first and middle name. And I just think I think we're at a time to where the name Robert James should be used more. It's like I said, it's my first and middle name. It's simple. It's easy than using Gersha, which is, of course, how my name is said. It's not how it's spelled. And I just think that, again, these are things that need to happen. And I think that these are just the best ways to do it. So I'm officially Robert James. That is my official radio name as of now. And I am also now going to be, like I said, everything is going to be action VR based as far as this show goes, and the morning show, which will now be called the Action VR Morning Show, and we're going to be doing a lot there, and I'm going to be talking to a lot of people where hosting that show goes, aside from myself, so we could have that show on 5 days a week again. And Kat's with us here now, and Kat, I know you being a part of the network, I'm sure you're surprised by this, but I'm sure you've also seen what was going on social media with all my changes. Kat, you there? Wonder what's happened to Kat. See if we can fix this. Hold on, Kat. There you go, Kat. You can hear. I can hear you now. What do you think about all these changes, Kat? Like I was talking about.
Oh, I'm taken by surprise here. Surprise! But I'm not surprised at the same time. It was long overdue.
Yeah, it was time for the change. You know, I mean, this change probably should have happened when we were making the changes 6 months ago to come here to Spreaker from Mixlr. And I just think, and some people even said I should have changed it 2 years ago when we were having the big hike in numbers that we were having, back then, too. But it's all good. I think that this works out for the better for everything. Robert James, nice and simple. It is my name, when I do and using the Action VR name for my shows, including the music shows, will be the way to do it, since it is supposed to be the flagship show.
This is true. And I'm kind of speechless because, like I said, it's long overdue. I knew you'd come around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Everyone. There are a lot of people telling me if we're going to get what we want with backing, you got to get rid of the Wacko and everything. Not just the network name, but Wacko Bob as well too. And like I said, it was time. It was really time. Like I said, it was probably time 2 years earlier to do this. This has been something I've debated for a long time, and it was just, like I said, it came, we saw it happened. So, that's that's one thing, and I'm glad the support is going to be there for it, for this change, and, and I think people are ready for this change.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, the numbers speak for itself. Definitely.
It definitely does. We're still in our situation where we're trying to get people used to the fact that we're not on Mixlr after being there for over 3 years. We had a lot of fun with Mixlr. We were there for about 3.5 years, and things abruptly ended for us with Mixlr. It wasn't like we planned it, but they abruptly ended, and for the 8 years that I was on Blog Talk, and how we ended that. Now we're here on Spreaker, and I think we're going to find a little more happiness here on Spreaker. We are going to be going on one of the bigger plans, and we are going to get things figured out so we can have everything back up over on TuneIn Radio, and also get ourselves back over on SoundCloud as well too. These are just some of the logistics we still have to work out. We want to make it work, and like I said, some of this had to come with the name change, and it like I said, it was time. It was time for it.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely, and it was almost like me coming back at the same time. When my insurance cut me off.
Yeah, that's something that's going to be talked about definitely when we get back to doing the morning show. I I'll tell you, I've had a string of bad luck myself too, man. And I don't know if I should really bring this up on the air. It's Christmas time, but I'm going to anyway. People say you're just being wacko again, Bob, but you know what? I went to the Publix across the street from me, and as I was doing that, before I even get to the door, the people who are grabbing the carts are screaming at me how they're closed. And it's 9:15 at night. They're normally open till 11 o'clock. I tell them, I said, you guys still got at least a good hour and a half to be open. And they're telling me how they were closing up early for remodeling of their store. That they have to do it this way. I said, so you're going to want 10 hours or 11 hours instead of 9 hours to do what you normally do? Well, for what you would do at night, and just close up and lose business? Hey, they're just saying that. I'm just telling you they're closed. So I wind up leaving there. I was originally going there to pick up some ice cream because of the Christmas season. They got this pumpkin spice ice cream, which is just great. So I wind up across the street at the 7-Eleven instead. And as I'm there, I figured, you know what? I'm here. Let me get a hot dog. I eat the hot dog, whatnot, have myself a Coke. I probably should not have had those things right away. And then I basically bought myself some other things, that I would bring home. I even brought home some ice cream for myself. And as I'm walking home, my stomach really starts to feel, and a lot of people, this stuff happens when you get older. You get older and you really need to watch what you eat. And you need to watch some few things. My heart's racing. My stomach is feeling like a rock. I need to go to the bathroom. And now I knew I needed to go to the bathroom after I had my hot dog and I was still at 7-Eleven. I figured I'd use the bathroom there. But there was a person in the bathroom that literally held that bathroom hostage for a good half hour.
I'm sorry, I'm not minimizing your situation, but when you come out with something,
now let me just. And you used to call me Wacko Robert. Now you have to call me Robert James. But in its seriousness here, I decide, screw this, I'm just going to get myself home. Now, as you walk, it starts to get worse and worse and worse. You feel like you want to puke. You don't know what's going on. Your heart's racing. Your stomach's getting worse. And you start to lose control. And as I'm walking, literally just to try to look classy and not have a clothespin where it needs to be, I start peeing in my pants. I literally did. And I'm walking, my heart's racing, it's getting worse. I'm breathing heavy. And as I get into the house, all you see out of me, I take the ice cream, I literally throw it into the freezer. Wasn't nice about it at all. Close the freezer, go running into the bathroom where I'm this big ball of sweat. And I know we're a family show here, but I didn't start to feel better until I relieved myself. I really didn't. I mean, that was the scariest nightmare I've ever been through. I mean, all because, and this all goes back to the fact that the place I originally was going to go to, and I would not have had a hot dog with a Coke, closed early. Publix.
Publi, as my ancestors would say. Publi.
Now, Publix, and if anyone knows Publix, I only go there when they have their sales going, and I only like to go to the deli at Publix because I love their food at the deli. But their stuff is normally expensive, which is why I always look for their buy one get one specials only a lot of times.
Exactly. The buy one get ones, their score.
Yeah, or you can sometimes find a 5 for $5 deal on, or even a $6 for $5 deal on Chef Boyardee or something like that. But for anyone who's ever been to Publix knows, been to Publix knows how high their prices are. But I found out something, and this is where it gets good here. This is where I'm going to make it good here, guys. I found out that Publix works with when that their prices are high because they take that extra money and use it to pay for the cost of the food and not for profit with that extra money to actually buy some of their own stuff and donate it to Food Share. And that's something I don't mind doing because Food Share has actually been very, very good to people all the time. They're one of the few nonprofit organizations you could really trust. And there really aren't. There's very few. I like Food Share. I like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I like Red Cross. I think Red Cross does great for people.
Okay, I have to stop you right there. Red Cross. I have to disagree with you there on Red Cross.
Well, Red Cross, they did great with us after Hurricane Wilma. People did not know what to do, and Red Cross got generators and everything for the clubhouse where we were living at the time, and brought food all the time to us there, and just made sure we were able to have 3 meals a day when places were still trying to recover. Businesses were still trying to recover after that hurricane.
Well, my uncle that was in the military, they charged him $5 for a sweater.
For a sweater, see now that's something that is wrong. I know Red Cross, puts everything back in, but people donate to Red Cross because they help people like the military. People with the Red Cross becomes a top priority with people like with people like Food Share and whatnot. Hang on here one moment.
And with that, we will hold on for just a moment, and I will speak. While Robert James is taking care of what he's taking care of. For the most part, Red Cross does do good, with the exception of the time that they charged my uncle $5 for a sweater when he was freezing and he was in the military. I don't get that. I thought that unless that there was this was an isolated incident, I don't know. But it bugged my father really, it really irritated my father really bad because he said,
oh man, okay, so it bothered him really bad. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father.
Um,
So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So what were you talking about here? I know you were talking about Red Cross and what it did to your father. So
it irritated my father really bad that his brother had to pay $5 for a sweater that was donated to help the military. Is to help the military, and my uncle had to pay $5 for a sweater.
I'm beats what other people have to pay, but number one, it was donated. It should have just been given to him. I agree with that. But how are you making a profit off of military scripted money?
That's where, like I said, it could have been an isolated incident, but it bothered my father so bad when he told his brother, hey, John, I had to pay $5 for this sweater, keep my butt from freezing, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, what? He goes, they donate this stuff. And you have to pay for it, and we're military, and this was, I don't know, and that's a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, that sounds like one person that was trying to profit in their own pocket. I mean, all you'd have to do is report that to some of these nonprofit groups, and they'll get rid of them real fast.
Yeah, so... Like I said, it's probably an isolated incident, and just, for the most part, I just, that moment sticks out in my mind because, he put his life on the line. My uncle did, and, after all that was said and done, he wound up how do they say it? Committing the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and he was shot in the head, and that was that.
Yeah, so I mean, I can imagine what you were like yesterday on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
not my father, my uncle, I mean.
Yeah, and just so people know, I had to take a call because it was DirecTV telling me that there was a person on their way to check my DirecTV, and that's another thing too. I only had a partial internet service, which still allowed me to do the show on Spreaker, which it wouldn't have on Mixler, but and I got to do them live, and I had that, and there was only so many channels we could get on Roku, and we didn't have the we didn't have the DirecTV, and long story short, we paid it, and we waited 24 hours for the the signal to come back, and the signal, we weren't getting a signal here with this thing, and after going through everything, and it could be something simple, it could be something simple that was easily missed, but I do have a tech guy who's going to be here in about another 10 minutes. I'll be playing music while that one goes on. Most likely, I'll actually be playing our OTR show for the day, so I got that going on as well too, and as far as going back to things with Veterans Day, which was the only reason why I didn't do a show yesterday, was just for that day, was because of the fact that was because of the fact that of course, normally I'm used to going and seeing my father, but going to my father's gravesite. There's 4 days four days out of each and every year where we go to my father's gravesite: Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and his birthday, and the day he died on New Year's Eve. And that's something that is a constant with us, where it goes. And we just, these are just some of the things we like to do when it comes down to our father, remembering him, and for those that do want to know here too, just so I could let people know here, we are going to be doing we will be doing a OTR show here, and it will be a Western of the Roy Rogers show, the night before Christmas. And so we're hoping to have that ready for everyone here, and actually it is ready, and we'll be doing that, and we'll probably throw up a couple of baby snooks as well too, so all will be good. We'll be doing that in the next 10 minutes, but back to, of course, the name change. And I know you like the name when we change things over to Action VR for Action Video Radio Network. And,
absolutely.
Mike is wanting to hope that we get to the next level, so we have a budget to put together the video part of the network, which Mike Summers himself will be handling. And, just a lot of things happening here, and I just think, like I said, the name change is pretty much a good thing, and people will see it later on today too, because I am going to play this one, probably this show again after we do the NFL wrap, myself and Mike Summers later, and it was another week. I gotta say, 2 unusual weeks. Another 2 unusual weeks for the NFL. The only thing that's not unusual is the Bengals losing. If any team is tanking to get a quarterback, and Tua and Burrow who did face each other over this past weekend and both played like troopers, is going on. It's going on more with them than anything else.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I saw the Buccaneers win,
they broke a losing streak too. They really broke that losing streak.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Yeah, people are saying the Dolphins are going to blow getting themselves Tua or someone like that. Tua, just so a lot of people know, is a trooper at quarterback, but he's really not the best quarterback to look at as a top pick for the NFL. And Tua's been playing after having surgery, and basically was on a limp the entire game against LSU this past weekend. Burrow was there too, and Burrow looked great. I think he's going to be a Heisman Trophy winner, and he may be one of the first Heisman Trophy winners to probably be taken in the first round of the draft. I know people will say, well, what about Vinny Testaverde and whatnot, and not Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks don't normally do as well. Just look at Gino Torretta from the Miami Hurricanes. He won the Maxwell Award, the Heisman Trophy, and I forget there's another award I believe they give out too. And he was just taken over, but when it came down to that championship game to make things perfect for him, he lost miserably. And people did say that he wouldn't be picked on the first day, and it was true. He was picked in round number 7 and really never played a regular season game. So, if you really want to look at it, that's something to look at with Gino Torretta. So there's something that you could really look at there. And the Bucks got potential. Don't lose hope in Todd Bowles, your defensive coordinator, and your coach. I think a rebuild is going to happen. I'm truthfully hoping that
that's if the Glazers don't pull a Lovie Smith on them.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be a winning team right now if you didn't let yourself lose Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith was not supposed to have a winning season in year 2. He was not. He was not. I know, that you want to say how he blew the last 6 games and whatnot, after winning, after being 6-4. But you know what? Lovie was not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to look at them and say, oh, they'll be a 12-14 first place going to the Super Bowl. You really should have, Lovie Smith, most coaches who go into this need to go in with a 5-year plan. Which means you're gonna take the hits that are morally given to you by the players. By the media and by the people, because you're going to spend at least the first 2 years getting knocked. Lovie Smith only won 2 games his first year and 6 games the next year. That makes sense. Year 3, he should maybe be 9-7 or 10-6, and really, I know that's mediocre, but after that, year 4. You're supposed to be a guaranteed playoff team on year 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's really what's supposed to happen. Not everyone can get away with what Jimmy Johnson did, having a 1-15 Dallas Cowboys, then having an 8-8 Dallas Cowboys team the next year, and then have a playoff Dallas Cowboys in year 3. And then have 2 years of winning Super Bowls in his 5 years as a coach for the Dallas Cowboys. That's really not supposed to happen. When you bring in a new coach, you're bringing in a guy that, if your last coach sucked and you had the talent to win, it's one thing. People can say what they want to about John Gruden doing that with the Bucks. John Gruden basically
did not win that Super Bowl.
Tony
Dungy won it.
Yeah, exactly. That was Tony Dungy's team. And who did John Gruden go with Tony Dungy's team to the Super Bowl to face? He went to face his own team, that he put together, that he had put together. So he was using Tony Dungy's team to face his team. How convenient is that? If anyone's going to know how to beat that Raiders team, it was going to be John Gruden. John Gruden just simply took that team to the Super Bowl. But normally a coach will look at those good players and look to get rid of them, just like we saw here in Miami. And because they know they're going to suck. Because they know that anyone who knows that they're going to get rid of those players and get draft picks. And they're going to spend at least the first 2 years accumulating draft picks. They'll let themselves have 6 to 8 picks over 3 rounds, in 3 rounds of drafting. Maybe have 9 or 10. But if they have at least 8 picks and they make all those picks count for 3 rounds for 2 years, they make those for, then they're putting their team together. Then they'll go in and look in free agency and get some veterans in there that can do it. Then they'll get them. But they want to but they're going to use the draft to build their foundation of young players. Then they'll go and they'll get themselves a veteran defensive lineman, a veteran that can work the secondary, a veteran wide receiver. I'll tell you right now, the Dolphins under him, they're either going to get, they're going to be somewhere in the top 10, probably wind up back in the top 5 because they probably got one more win they could probably get, and the rest will be losses. But if they're in the top 5, they're either getting the best offensive lineman or they're getting the best defensive lineman in this year's draft. I'm hoping they go offensive line. I'm hoping that they do that because there are two offensive linemen that can land in their laps. One of the two of them or both of them can, and just being able to pick one of them is going to be great. If they have one of one of their 3 first-round picks they got from a team, if that team goes back on a losing streak, and they have another pick that'll be in the top 10, they could get themselves maybe get themselves both offensive linemen, because before you could get a quarterback, you got to have the protection and the weapons first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just really. I mean, look at the Indianapolis Colts, and you'll see why. You got a great offensive line, you got wide receivers, you got a defense that's great. It's a dream for any quarterback to be in. Jacoby Brissett looks a lot better than he really is because of that. Hoyer played for them and looked a lot better than he did. And believe me, Hoyer lost against the Dolphins. It's because Brissett was out with an injury that the Dolphins were able to win that one.
Yeah, I was I saw that and I was like, wow. and I could see you doing cartwheels at that game.
Oh yes. And the reason why you're not hearing music, people, is because I am waiting for this person to show up here. Since he said he's on his way here, he'd be here between 15 and 20 minutes, and that was about a good 10 to 15 minutes ago already. I'm going to wait for him, and then as soon as that starts, that's when the OTR will play, and like I said, we will be playing Roy Rogers this time. And we do have a lot of things. I know some people have requested that I do some of the redneck Christmas stuff. I mean, I got a lot of that going on. But for those that don't know, I can't see who all talks in the chat room. I don't have that ability to see the chat room. I'm checking to see if I actually do. I'm just trying my best here to see where things are, but please, and we really can't actually see who's in the chat room unless they make themselves known. So make yourself known in the chat room if you're there, so we can bring you up. We don't get to see. We're not on Blog Talk or Mixler. Things here are done a little bit different over here on Spreaker, and Spreaker is a lot better than it used to be. I'll tell you that much. I'm very, very happy and excited to be with Spreaker.
Oh, I am too.
So I mean, there's a little something to look at there. So I mean, and a lot of the old Blog Talk shows are on Spreaker now too. I mean, Blog Talk, with the money they're charging now and what they're willing to give out, the only thing that's best about Blog Talk is their studio and having the phone number right there. But after that, it's a holy mess. So
yes, it is. It is one hot mess there, Robert James.
Yeah, it is. And looking at things here, let's get into a couple of things here. Democrats won something in the House, to look at the impeachment that will not happen on Donald Trump, and people are saying how they're going to impeach him. I said, you're not going to impeach him because you need the Senate's approval to impeach, and the Senate's primarily run by the Republicans, and you just can't have a majority. You got to have a big majority. You have to have 66% of the Congress all the way around approving it. For impeachment, just like it is with regular voting. When it comes down to voting on bills, if 66% don't have it, you're not going to win.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm so disgusted with the Democrats and their nonsense. Anyway.
Yeah, I think everyone is. And what do you know? They're calling me now here. Actually, let's actually do this here now. Let's actually play. Here the show here, and hope everyone enjoys.
It's the Roy Rogers Show.
Happy trails to you. It's nice to meet again. Happy trails to you until the journey's end.
Post Grape Nuts Flakes, the great 2-minute energy cereal, brings you the Roy Rogers Show, transcribed on the Double R Bar Ranch with Pat Brady and the Queen of the West, Dale Evan.
Happy trails to you. Time to ride again.
And here he is, in person, the king of the cowboys, Roy Rogers.
Well, howdy, folks. You know, being a cowboy, you need lots of energy. That's why Grape Nuts Flakes is the cereal I like for strength and energy. Just 2 minutes after you eat a big bowl full, that whole wheat energy starts going to work for you. Try Grape Nuts Flakes, buckaroos. They're great.
It is the night before Christmas. In the Eureka Cafe, the supper rush is over, but the excitement certainly hasn't died down.
Boy, oh boy, Roy, in a couple of hours, you and me and Nellie Bale will be purring our way up in the hills.
Snarling might be a better word for the way that motor sounds, Pat. But I promised I'd go on Nellie Bell, and I'll go through with it. I just hope our new broadhead arrows really do the business when we treat some of those snarling cats.
Well, of all the ridiculous ways to spend the Christmas holidays, hunting cougars with a bow and arrow. I might say with a bow and arrow yet.
Oh, Dale, me and Roy haven't had a chance to do any important hunting for practically a year now.
No, we're a couple of free and easy cowpokes with work all taken care of for a few days, and we're going to spend Christmas having fun. Bullet here will enjoy it, too.
Well, Pat isn't getting out of here tonight until every one of the Christmas decorations is up to suit me.
And perhaps a block down the main street, in the dim night light of the Mineral City General Store, there are two men with a rather different sort of holiday spirit.
Hey, we're gonna do all right around these parts, Long. This store had a rip-snorting Christmas rush. Must have been 900 in this till.
Well, stuff it in your pockets, Daniels, and let's get out of here. Somebody patrols this alley every night, and I never did trust these Hicktown cops.
Get used to 'em, Long. Get used to 'em.
Hey, Duck, somebody's looking in the front door.
Where? Oh, yeah. Get hold of your nerves, Long. That's nothing but a man and a kid doing a little window shopping.
Window shopping? Nothing. The guy's motioning like he sees us, wants to talk to us. Come on, let's beat it.
Not on your life. I got a lot to teach you about this racket, Long. We're letting him in.
What?
Certainly. We might as well pick ourselves up a handmade patsy. Oh, confound these spurs always getting in the way.
Daniels, you're overdoing this rancher gag. You'll never learn to walk with spurs on.
Yes, what did you want?
Well, we just thought if the store was still open, well, we're just passing through town.
And the stuff in your windows is sure pretty.
Well, I'm just closing up, but come on in.
You wait for me out there, Jess. I won't be long.
Okay, Daddy.
When my little girl saw the dolls, I guess I'll surprise her. I might as well see that she enjoys Christmas a little.
Look, son, my partner and I are late, and we're in a hurry to get somewhere. Why don't you just find what you want and leave the money? Prices are all marked.
You mean you'd trust me? The way I look and everything?
Sure.
Well, I just want a small doll. I got just about enough to get us a place to stay tonight.
Oh, don't apologize, stranger. Oh, one thing. Go out the back door when you leave and close it behind you. The front door lock doesn't work that way. All right, Long, let's be on our way. That new gray horse of mine's been stomping and champing at the bit for the last 5 minutes.
How do you like that? Maybe some people aren't so bad after all. I can't stand to see Christmas come. And I guess I can't let Jess know how I feel.
Oh, Dale, everything's spick and span and sparkling. We've been 2 hours putting up this silly tinsel.
Say, why don't you turn your waiter loose, Dale?
Well, I just want one more string of lights put up, and then you archery fiends can be on your way.
Well, look who's here.
Oh, what a cute little girl. What can we do for you, young lady?
My daddy asked me to wait for him, but I got so cold, and I thought I'd write him a letter so he won't worry.
Well, Dale will get you a pencil. What's your name, partner?
Jess.
Jess what?
Just Jess. I'm 5 1/4 years old.
What do people call your daddy?
Oh, his name's Jim Gorman.
Gorman. You must be strangers around here.
We're strangers everywhere lately.
Well, here's the pencil and paper, Jess.
Oh, thank you. Except I can't write.
Well, why don't you tell me what you want to say, and I'll write it for you, and Roy'll take it to your daddy.
Oh, that'd be neat. Just say, Dear Daddy, I got cold and I'm down the street with some nice people. Love, Jess.
Hey, that's a nice note that I'll be mighty proud to deliver. Where did your daddy leave you, Jess?
I don't just know, but it was down that way, and there were dolls in the window.
Jess, honey, are you hungry?
Well...
Why don't you come in the kitchen with me? It's even warmer in there, and I'll whip you up the most super hamburger you ever tasted.
Well, I seem to eat an awful lot of hamburgers lately, but if it's the most super one I ever tasted...
Ain't that a cute little sprout, though?
She sure is. I wonder how a man could leave a kid like that just standing out in front of a store. Well, I better start looking him up, and then, well, we can be on our way.
Howdy, Roy, Pat.
Hi, Sheriff.
Hi. Hey, Roy, the doggonest thing just happened.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. I don't have time to hear about any Mineral City crime waves right now.
Yeah, Roy's got to deliver a note, and then me and him are starting out for our Christmas vacation.
We're heading for the mountains. Going to spend the holidays hunting cougars.
Well, have a nice time. I can tell you about this fellow we caught robbing the general store after you get back.
Sure, as long as you caught him, that's the main thing.
That's a funny thing, though. My deputy was checking the alley, and he snatched this fella red-handed coming out the back door. The deputy brought him down to jail, of course, and we searched him, and the only thing he had on him was a little doll and about $1.75 in cash.
Wait a minute, Sheriff. What was the man's name?
Oh, the name he gave us was Gorman or something like that, but I suppose he's using an alias.
Roy, maybe I better close the kitchen door. Seems to me I feel a draft. Now, Sheriff, was there anything else special about this fella you was telling us about?
Well, he's like to blowing his top there in the cell. Claims he's innocent, that he left his little daughter waiting for him in front of the store. But I went down to check, and there wasn't anyone there. I took my pass key and checked inside, and sure enough, the cash register was as empty as a used eggshell.
Pat, we don't have to start out on our hunting trip right this minute, do we?
No, not right this minute we don't.
Then why don't you sort of hang around here with Dale and that friend she has in the kitchen? I think I'll take a walk to the general store and maybe over to the jail with the sheriff.
Oh, Pat, a cougar can't be dangerous. Not with such a silly name.
Oh, that's what you think, Jess. Believe me, if me and Roy didn't have our trusty bow and arrows, why, we wouldn't even dare go up in those hills.
Oh, go on. Anyway, nothing could happen to you as long as Bullet was with you.
I guess you told him that time, Jess. Bullet pulls those two cowpokes out of many a spot.
We had a dog once. That's while Mommy was still here. But Daddy and me couldn't take him along when we just hitched rides and don't even know where we're going.
Jess, honey, are you sure you've had enough to eat?
Oh, sure. But you were right about those hamburgers, Miss Dale. All 3 of them are really super.
All right. Don't make a move and don't anybody open your mouths. Nobody will get hurt. All I want is that little girl.
Oh, no.
You touch that kid, now.
Oh, Bullet, be quiet. That's just my daddy with a handkerchief over his face.
Jess,
What? You're this child's father?
Sure, he's my father.
Mister, that thing you're making believe is a gun in your pocket. That wouldn't be your finger by chance, would it?
What if it is? This is my little girl, and all we want is to get out of here. I haven't done anything, no matter what anyone says.
Daddy, this is such a nice place, and Miss Dale and Pat are so much fun. And I sent a man named Roy out to bring you a letter. Didn't he find you?
No, I guess he didn't. You see, Jess, I was a little late getting back to where I asked you to wait, and...
Fella, you didn't happen to sort of maybe break out of a certain building here in town just now, did you?
Well...
Not that it'd be hard. I seen cracker boxes that'd be tougher.
Could I see you in the kitchen just a minute, Mr. Gorman?
Look,
Daddy, Miss Dale makes super hamburgers. Why don't you have one?
Come along, just for a minute, please.
Well, if you say so, ma'am.
Now, Jess, if you don't believe what I told you about them cougars, I'm going to tell you something else.
Now, look, mister. We're willing to forget the way you came in here after your little girl, but we're not going to let you go on messing things up for her.
Didn't you ever have things go so wrong that you got all mixed up?
Well, of course, everyone does. But you shouldn't ever steal. We know about the general store being robbed.
I didn't do it. I never stole a thing.
Did a man named Roy Rogers come down to the jail to talk to you?
No, I just talked to the sheriff. And then he left, and I saw my chance, and I broke out to get Jess.
Well, Roy and the sheriff were going back to the jail to talk to you. Now, look, if you're innocent, I'm going to have Pat drive you right back. And maybe you can get back in your cell before anyone even notices that you're gone.
I am innocent. But what'll happen to Jess?
Oh, Jess will be fine. Why, she's the nicest company I've had in years. And if you can convince Roy Rogers that you're straight, I'll guarantee that you'll spend Christmas with your daughter.
Shine your flashlight down here, Sheriff, around the hitching rail.
We aren't getting any place, Roy. We poked around that store for more than a half an hour, and what do we know?
Well, we know that we found a dollar bill lying on the cash register, and that Gorman had a 98-cent doll with him when he was arrested. And we also know that we found a piece of a spur in the store after it had been swept for the night, and that Gorman wasn't wearing spurs.
Well, I know that, Roy.
Now, look here. We also know that Gorman wasn't mounted. But there were 2 horses standing at this rail within the last couple of hours. One of them stood here calm-like, but the other one was an animal that, well, wasn't used to being tied.
Well, how can you tell that?
From the hoof marks. One of them was stomping all over the place. And if he happened to brush the rail a few times... Hey, here you are. Here's what I'm looking for.
Did you find some horsehair?
Sheriff, have you heard about any gray horses being stolen lately?
Not that I remember, but it'd be a simple matter to go back to the office and check all the reports.
Good. We'll do that when we go back to talk to Gorman. And then, as soon as it's daylight, Pat and I have some work to do.
Work to do? I thought you was going on a hunting trip. Didn't you say something about cougars?
Well, the cats can wait for another few hours. First, I'm going to track a gray horse, and then I'll start worrying about cougar tracks.
And now it's time for another Roy Rogers reminder. Be a good loser. Yes, buckaroos, that's Roy's reminder for today. You know, even the best of cowboys can't always win at riding, roping, or wrangling. And Roy wants you to know that if you should lose sometime, that's the time to grin and say to yourself, well, I just got to practice some more and build up some more strength and energy and make sure that next time I'll win. And say, buckaroos, talking about strength and energy that you need to win in almost anything you do. The best way to get it is to eat good, nourishing food like Grape Nuts Flakes. Roy eats Grape Nuts Flakes for energy. His picture's on every package. Yes, Roy likes those swell-tasting Grape Nuts Flakes, 'cause their whole wheat energy starts going to work for you in just 2 minutes after you eat a big, malty-rich bowlful. That's energy you need for most everything you do during the day. And you'll like sugar-roasted Grape Nuts Flakes. They have a flavor that's malty-rich, makes them mighty good to eat. So if you want to be king of the cowboys in your corral, ask your mom to get you Grape Nuts Flakes, the great 2-minute energy cereal.
Grape Nuts Flakes is one of the triple wrap Post cereals, guaranteed fresh or triple your money back.
A wonderful little girl drops in on Roy, Dale, and Pat at the Eureka Cafe. A broken, confused man is accused of robbery. And the holiday hunting trip on which our cowboy friends were planning so excitedly seems to have suffered a further postponement, for it's the day before Christmas now.
Roy, I hope this ain't a wild goose chase. Oh, it's too bad we couldn't pick up those tracks this morning.
Yeah, if that shower hadn't come along. Well, we can't let an innocent man stay in jail if we can help it. Jim Gorman's all right, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Say, do you know anything about this Daniels fellow, Pat?
No, except that he and his buddy leased this place about 10 days ago. Dale remembered that she'd seen him on a black horse a couple times and then on a gray.
Well, a gray horse was stolen from near Zenith last week. Of course, Daniels may be able to prove he's owned the gray he rides for years, and In that case, I wouldn't know what to do next except go hunting.
Well, we'll soon find out. Who there?
Who, Trigger? Steady, boy. Who?
Hey, there's that Daniels fella out by the barn. He don't look much like a rancher, does he?
No, he doesn't. And if he expects to run a big place like this,
What's up there, strangers? Oh, hello. You're Rogers and Brady, aren't you?
We sure are, Mr. Daniels.
Well, I suppose you came out to pay a little pre-Christmas call. Come on in the house.
We haven't got time for that, Mr. Daniels.
We heard you moved in here with a fine gray horse, and, well, maybe he's for sale.
Well, yes, I do have a gray horse, and he might be for sale. At a price, though. He isn't the most tractable animal I've ever known, but he's a beauty, all right. Come on. He's in the barn.
Well, I'm sorry we haven't gotten over to call on you before, Mr. Daniels. I've been pretty busy around my own spread trying to get things cleared up so Pat and I could take a little hunting trip.
Oh, that's all right. Lots of time for visiting. I expect to be around these parts for a long time. Well, here we are. Hey, there he is. The gray ghost in person.
Hey, he's quite an animal. I don't blame you for being proud of him. Had him long?
Raised him from a colt. When I saw the little fellow standing at his mother's side, that dappled gray hide gleaming in the sunlight, I knew he was the horse for me.
I guess there's something you didn't know, though, Daniels.
What's that?
That a gray colt isn't born gray. They're solid black except for some hairs on their mane and tail. You stole this horse, didn't you?
Look, you can't talk to me like that, Rogers. I can prove I own him.
And I can prove that you were in the general store in Mineral City last night, after hours.
What? What are you talking about?
One of the teeth is broken off the rowel on your right spur, and I've got a hunch it's going to match...
Long! Help!
Oh, no, you don't, Daniels. Don't move. Don't reach for those guns.
Long! Long!
Let me get in on this, Roy.
I'm coming, Daniel.
Hey, look out, Roy. Up in the haymow there.
I see him.
Oh!
That'll hold him for a second. Here, Pat, you handle Daniels.
Hey, look out, Long! Pull up the ladder!
I don't need a ladder to get up there.
That was some jump, Roy. Now pull yourself up.
I'm here, Pat. Now you with the rifle.
Don't. We'll fall over the edge.
That isn't so far. I jumped up here without too much trouble.
Let me go. I don't know anything about the general store robbery.
Oh, no? Sounds to me like you do. And when you wake up, you can tell the sheriff about it. How you coming, Pat?
I'm coming fine, but you sure can't say the same about Daniels.
Nice going, Pat. Now let's get these two tied up and into Mineral City. If we want to get started on our hunting trip before dark, we'll have to hurry.
Yeah, we sure will, because we still have to bring Jess's father out from town to the Double R Bar, too.
Yeah, Dale and Jess will be getting anxious. Let's go.
But I thought Daddy was coming back with you, Roy. And it's dark already.
Well, he and Pat will be here any minute, honey. They had a couple of errands to do.
Okay. Come on, Bullet, let's play. Oh, I wish I had a dog like you.
Roy, are you sure everything is all right?
You bet it is, Dale. The sheriff wanted to talk to Jim about a job he can get for him. So I figured I'd just mosey back to see how you and Jess were making out.
Oh, we've had a wonderful day, Roy. I guess the Eureka isn't going to be open for Christmas Eve, but shucks, there probably wouldn't have been any business anyway.
Roy, what's this thing over here in the corner?
Well, that's my guitar.
Oh, do you make music on it?
Well, sort of.
Oh, here. Play me a song.
All right, honey.
Sing me one, too.
Jess, you had a busy day here on the ranch. Why don't you climb up here in my lap and kind of rest for a minute till your daddy gets here,
Okay, I like it on your lap.
Something sort of soft and nice, huh, Roy?
Sure. How's this? Close your sleepy eyes, my little buckaroo, while the light of western skies is shining down on you. Don't you know it's time for bed? Another day is through. So go to sleep, my little buckaroo. Don't you realize, my little buckaroo, it was from a little acorn that the oak tree grew. And remember that your dad was
was once a kid like you. So go to sleep, my little buckaroo. Soon you're gonna ride the range like grown-up cowgirls do. Now it's time that you were rounding up a dream or two. So go to sleep, my little buckaroo.
Jess took the song to heart, Roy. My, but she's had a busy day.
Good. Pat and I didn't get much hunting done, but maybe one day will be enough for us, if we can ever get going.
Well, it looks like you can start right now.
Well, sir, here we are. There she is, Jim. Yes, I'm sorry I was so long, but
She's asleep.
No, I'm not. I was just resting. Why don't you sit here and hold me a while, Daddy?
Gosh, do you mind, Roy and Dale?
Well, I should say not. You just sit here and enjoy the fire, and when Jess is ready to go to bed, there's room all set for both of you.
Roy, you and me got things to do, so let's get started.
All right.
I think I'll just walk outside with you for a couple of minutes.
I'll talk to you before we leave, Jim. Everything all right?
Fine, Roy. I'd like to talk to you, too, to try to say thanks.
Daddy, they're the most wonderful animals around here.
Boy, it's sure a fine night to head for the hills, isn't it, Pat?
Golly, yes. Only there's one little errand I ought to do. You know, they had some dandy tin Jeeps, just like Nellie Bell in the general store, and they're going to be open late tonight, and I just thought
Well, as long as you're going into town, maybe I can ride in with you.
Dale, I figure as long as you weren't going to open up tonight, maybe you'd like to ride over to Bob Nimitz' ranch with me for a few minutes and...
Oh? What for?
Well, they had a litter of puppies over there about 7 weeks ago, and I thought I'd go over and get one. You know, sort of a little surprise for Jess when she wakes up in the morning.
Oh, all right, Roy.
Ought to time out just about right.
And then the three of us can meet back here and head for the mountains.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not going cougar hunting with you two characters.
Well, I didn't mean way up in the mountains, Dale. We'll say about 2,500 feet up in the foothills. There's some real nice little fir trees growing, and I thought if we went up and got a nice one, it'd be fun to watch Jess in the morning.
Oh, yes.
Well, shucks, Pat, we can go cougar hunting anytime.
Oh, yeah, sure can. Why, I think tree hunting's a much better idea. Wow. Aren't those stars bright tonight?
They sure are. Hey, look at that big one right overhead. I don't remember seeing that one before.
Gosh, that is a nice one. I don't remember seeing it either.
You don't? You've never noticed that star before?
No.
Why, that's been there for ages. People saw it for the first time almost 2,000 years ago.
Well, it's Christmas, and I'll bet a lot of you thought the day would never roll around. Christmas always seems to take a long time coming, but it sure is worth waiting for, isn't it, Dale?
I'll say it is, Roy. And I just hope all of our friends are having as fine a day as we are. I can see that Pat agrees.
I sure do, Dale. And speaking for all the gang here at the ranch, we hope Christmas brought you folks everything you wished for.
Yes, and we hope that Santa left your stockings just bulging with good things. But the best wish we have for you is for the true spirit of Christmas to stay with you all through the year. You know, the spirit of giving is a good thing to have with you all the time. And peace on earth, goodwill toward men, is well worth keeping in mind every single day of the year. I know you all agree with me on that. And now our sponsor, Post Cereals, who bring you Grape Nuts Flakes, Sugar Crisp, and so many other good cereals, join Dale, Pat, and all of us here at the ranch in sending you best wishes for the holiday season. Yes, from our Post family to your family, Merry, Merry Christmas and the happiest New Year ever. And for now, goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you. See you next week.
Featured in today's cast were Frank Hemingway, Herb Butterfield, Dorothy Brown, Ken Peters, and Stan Farrar. This is Art Ballinger speaking for Post Grape Nuts Flakes. Stay tuned for the latest news brought to you by Log Cabin Syrup.
This is a song that there's a lot of Christmas songs out there, and not too many Hanukkah songs. So wrote a song for all those nice little Jewish kids who don't get to hear any Hanukkah songs. Here we go. Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah. So much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we have 8 crazy nights. When you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a list of people who are Jewish, just like you and me. David Lee Roth lights the menorah. So do James Conn, Kirk Douglas, and the late Dinah Shora. Guess who eats together at the Carnegie Deli? Bowser from Sha-Na-Na and Arthur Fonzarelli. Paul Newman's half Jewish, Goldie Hawn's half too. Put them together, what a fine-looking Jew. You don't need Deck the Halls or Jingle Bell Rock, 'cause you can spin a dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, both Jewish. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. The owner of the Seattle Supersonicas celebrates Hanukkah. O.J. Simpson, not a Jew. But guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew. He converted. We got Ann Landers and her sister, dear Abby. Harrison Ford's a quarter Jewish, not too shabby. Some people think that Ebenezer Scrooge is. Well, he's not, but guess who is? All 3 Stooges. So many Jews are in showbiz. Tom Cruise isn't, but I heard his agent is. Tell your friend Veronica it's time to celebrate Hanukkah. Oh, bar, get a harmonica on this lovely, lovely Hanukkah. So drink your gin and tonica and smoke your marijuana. If you really, really wanna go, have a happy, 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 happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm sure the Stanford team will never forget us for that.
How, Mr. Powell?
Hello, Snooks. Did you have a very Merry Christmas?
Yeah, and I seen Santa Claus when he came down the chimney.
Ah, you lucky little girl. What were you doing up so late?
I was waiting for him.
Oh. And you heard him sneaking in?
Uh-huh. It was awful dark in the living room. And he fell over a chair.
What did he say?
Shall I leave out the bad words?
Of course.
Then he didn't say nothing.
Well, anyhow, you got to see Santa, and that's a privilege very few children get. Hey, what's that package you have there?
It's a Christmas present for you, Mr. Powell.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it from you?
Open it up.
Well, let's see. Well, Snooks, how nice of you.
Do you like them suspenders, Mr. Powell?
Why, I think they're Hey, wait a minute. These look familiar.
Wrap them up again, Mr. Powell.
No. Just a second. Where did you get these?
I bought them with my own money.
Oh, you did, eh?
Mm-hmm. They cost $90, $11, $16, and I saved it up from all the nickels you gave me. Remember?
I remember very well, Snooks. And I also remember giving your daddy these suspenders for his Christmas present.
Oh.
And here's my card right in the box, from Dick to Daddy. Now, what do you say to that?
Ain't much to say, is there?
Not very. And how do you come to have these suspenders?
Will you be mad if I tell you the truth, Mr. Powell?
Oh, of course not.
Well, Daddy and me is going to the department store, and...
Yes?
And we're going to change all the presents.
Oh. He didn't like these suspenders, huh?
No. Mr. Powell,
Yes?
would you like to give me a nickel?
I knew that was coming. Well, here, Snooks. Here's a nickel. But after next week, you'll have to get them from John Conte.
No, I won't.
Why not?
Because he just gave me a dime. Goodbye.
No, my. What a little panhandler. Oh, well, guess we better get on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Dick. Merry Christmas.
Well, hello, Daddy. Was Santa good to you?
Oh, wonderful. Oh, and thanks for that beautiful present, Dick. Just what I needed.
Yes. Snooks told me you were crazy about it.
She's been here?
Yes. And you needn't turn white, Daddy.
Well, I love those suspenders, Dick.
Get out of it.
The truth of the matter is, my wife, you know.
Yes. Well, it's easy to see who wears the pants in your house.
Oh, don't rub it in. I hope you won't be angry, Dick. I've got a ton of presents to exchange today, and I don't relish the task.
Oh, that's all right, Daddy. Just forget it. Before you go, I want to wish you a happy and prosperous New Year.
Well, thanks, Dick. And I want to wish you all the success in the world. You've been swell. We'll all miss you terribly.
Well, just don't trade in those suspenders, and you'll always have something to remember me by.
I'll wear them close to my heart, Dick. So long, old man.
So long, Daddy. Be careful in that department store.
All right, Snooks. I won't be long.
Where you going, Daddy?
To the department store. You stay here in the car and watch Robespierre.
No, I want to see Santa Claus.
He isn't there anymore.
I want to see Santa Claus.
Please, Snooks. You'll only make trouble if you stop. All right. Get out very quietly.
Why?
Because I don't want you to wake Robespierre.
Are you going to leave him in the car, Daddy?
Yes. I'll open the window a little and lock all the doors.
Why?
Why? You want somebody to run off with him?
Uh-huh.
You little savage. Get out and let me lock the doors.
You never lock the doors when I sleep in the car.
Curious, isn't it?
Yeah. Ain't you afraid somebody will steal me away?
Afraid is hardly the word for it.
What's the word for it, Daddy?
There isn't any word for it.
Well, why do you leave the doors open?
I can dream, can't I? Nothing. Close that back door very quietly.
All right.
Oh, Snooks! What are you doing?
Since he woke up, Daddy.
You woke him up. And stop calling him those awful names. Shh, baby.
Shut up.
Now I'll have to take him in the store with us. As if my hands aren't full enough now.
I'll carry the presents, Daddy.
Not on your life. You'd probably sell them before we got in the store.
Now let me carry Robespierre.
Just take his hand. He can walk. When he gets tired, I'll carry him. Now, come on.
Come on, Robespierre. I'm going to show you Santa Claus. He lives right in this store.
Oh, don't be silly, Snooks. He doesn't live in this store at all.
Why?
Because he lives at the North Pole.
Why?
Now, that's fine. Now I've got two of them saying it. Stick close behind me. And don't push, Snooks. I'll drop all these packages.
Well, hurry up, Daddy.
You've got to take it easy through this revolving door. I'll go first. Now, don't let go of the baby.
All right.
Come on, Snooks. Bring him in.
The door's spinning around, Daddy.
What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for a hole to come around again. Here comes Robespierre. Jump!
What happened?
Robespierre missed the hole. I'll go back and get him.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Stop the door from turning first.
We're stuck inside, Daddy.
Well, push it.
All right. Now we're outside again.
Stop that nonsense, Snooks. Come in here.
Ring around a rosy, pocket full of roses, upstairs, downstairs, in my lady's chamber.
Oh!
He likes it, Daddy.
I didn't bring you here to play games in a revolving door. I want to get rid of this trash. Come on in.
We're in, Daddy.
Now, what's the matter with him?
Maybe he's hungry. Are you hungry, Pickle Puss?
He can't be hungry. He just finished an 8-ounce bottle of milk. What's the matter with you, Robespierre?
I know.
He's probably tired.
Did you bring along an extra?
Yes, I brought along an extra.
That ain't what I...
Now, you just mind your own business. You stop crying anyway.
Shall I take my hand out of his mouth now?
Oh, you little brat.
I didn't do nothing.
Why did I have to bring you both along? Now, listen to me, Robespierre. If you don't behave like a good little boy, Daddy'll leave you in the car.
Let's change the present, Dad.
I will as soon as you let me get over to the exchange counter.
Can I exchange Robespierre for a baseball bat?
Sure. And I'll exchange you for a time bomb, just so I can have a little peace.
I want a piece of time bomb.
Now, don't start that.
I want a piece of time bomb.
Oh, this is a pretty kettle of fish.
Oh, I want some fish.
Tyler!
Yes, Daddy. Keep quiet, Robespierre. Daddy's mad.
Now, don't make another sound. So we get out of this store. I'll try and get rid of Meredith's present first.
What is it, Daddy?
Just look at what he sent me. A back scratcher.
Is that a back scratcher?
Yes.
I ate my eggs with it this morning.
You ate your eggs with it?
I thought it was a long fork.
Well, that's fine. They'll never take it back now.
Let me scratch it back with it, Dad.
Now, stop it. Stop it, Snooks. You're tickling me.
You like it, Daddy?
No, I hate it. Cut it out. I'll drop off it. Oh! There. Now you've done it. Everything's broken.
We still got the back scratcher, Daddy.
Help me pick this stuff up. Maybe we can salvage some of it. And you wait till I get you home.
Let's help Daddy pick the stuff up.
People looking at us like we were crazy. Did that fishbowl break, Snooks?
Yeah, but I got the goldfish.
Now, what's the use? It won't live without water.
Spit on it, Robespierre.
Give me that time muffler set.
The water got all over it, Daddy.
Now, I'll tell him it came that way. Robespierre, don't step on that big handkerchief.
That ain't a handkerchief. His pants fell down.
Oh. Here, just help me sweep it all together.
Can I be of service, sir?
Huh? Oh, yes. Where can I exchange some of this stuff? I'll take anything for it. I just want to get out of here.
Get me a hat, Daddy.
All right. Can you give my little girl a hat for this?
Oh, certainly. We've got some pretty little hats for little ladies. Do you want a nice sailor hat or a velvet bonnet?
I want a derby.
You can't have a derby.
Why?
Hurry up, mister. Show us some hats.
Yes. How would you like this little lavender bonnet with the ruffles?
I like it.
You really like it?
Uh-huh.
Shall I wrap it up?
No.
Why not?
I want a derby.
I told you can't have a derby. Take anything else.
Anything?
Yes.
Then I want an ice cream cone.
They don't sell ice cream here. All you can have is a hat.
Can I have a hat with cherries on it?
I think so. We can put some cherries on this little hat. Now, would you like red cherries or purple cherries?
I want real ones.
Put some cherries on it. And let's get out of here.
And I want a plum pudding on the hat, too.
A plum pudding?
Yeah, and a peppermint stick.
Now, listen to me.
That's all right, sir. I'll stick the stuff on, and you can take it off when you get home.
Okay. Put it all on.
And I want a derby with an ice cream cone on
No. Now, don't you start.
There we are, all done.
Look at that monstrosity. Real cherries, plum pudding, peppermint stick, and heaven knows what else on it. Now, are you satisfied?
Uh-huh.
You really like that hat?
Uh-huh.
Fine. Shall I wrap it up?
No, I'll eat it here.
That's the last straw. You little... Come on, both of you. My father told me to stay single.
All right, we are back, and I do have Kat here still with me. We are going to be ending here. We are almost at the 2-hour mark, and just so everyone notes, this is not Wacko Bob's Music Fest Christmas edition anymore. This is now the Action VR Network Christmas show, and we are taking the music out of this one because of things like the OTRs, and we will still have a little bit of talk. And we'll be talking about more changes happening because we can't go 8 hours doing shows here for Christmas. We will be cutting it. Unfortunately, it's going to be cut back to 5 hours because that's the maximum amount of time we can get with the highest package on here on Spreaker. But all still good. All still going to work for the better. And we are going to be doing a lot more as things move on and move forward here. The next show I will come back with another Christmas show tomorrow. So everyone be on the lookout there. And, just keep an eye out. I mean, like I said, you never know what you're going to hear. We're going to end here with a little bit of, with Shake Santa Shake here by Zendaya to end this one here. We may have one more song here for you as well here too. So hope everyone's enjoying this, and I hope everyone will be happy. Yes, we will, as after Thanksgiving, yes, this will become a 3-hour show after Thanksgiving weekend. Thanksgiving weekend, we got a lot of things coming up. I know Kat's looking at possibly joining us for some of the pre-recordings we're going to be doing, including Kat actually having a part to do in the special editions of the NFL Wrap. And as we preview games, not just for Christmas, not just for Thanksgiving, but for the weekend after Thanksgiving with a fresh special Friday edition, which will almost be like Take Time for Sports for us.
That's right. Watch out for that one. And if I can throw in a few words there.
Sure.
Robert James, I gotta get used to that. I gotta get used to calling you Robert James now.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just simple. It's simple, I mean, originally I was going to try and do something different using RJ, but it's long story.
RJ's too redneck. RJ's too redneck for you.
Yeah, Robert.
You're Paisan.
Yeah, Robert James works. Like I said, it's simple. It's short. It's simple. Easy to remember. Robert James, radio host. But
I am gonna get back in touch with the Wrestling Divas. I had little problem again because of insurance difficulties. However, I finally got my wheelchair yesterday. So I will give Medicare a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for that one. And I'm just waiting for my seat cushion because they gave me a Fat Albert wheelchair originally. They came in with this Fat Albert wheelchair. I said, excuse me, do I look like I am 500 pounds? I mean, seriously? Seriously.
Yeah, I know, man. You know, they
seriously.
They think you need that much comfort. They should have that much cushion.
I said I have a little bit of cushion for the cushion, but I am not. Hey. And he just started laughing. He goes, well, he goes, just sit in it and see if it's comfortable. And I said, sir, I can tell you this right now, that looking at that chair and looking my size, this ain't gonna work. This ain't happening. He goes, just try it out. I go, sir, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but if you think that, first of all, that chair can't fit through my door, that's number one. And number two, I find it insulting that you think that I am that size. Okay. I don't know what they told you on the phone, but I am not 500 pounds. The chair that they originally brought me was for an extremely overweight woman.
Oh man, that's terrible to think about. You gotta tell them it's like, hell, I'm not going to get my stomach stapled.
I'm not going for doctor now. That doctor. It's my 600-pound overlife, whatever, my 600-pound body life or whatever that show is with Dr. Now. No, sir, I need a chair half that size. And he goes, I only have one in the truck. And I said, well, you best go get it because I was just like floored. I said, I can't believe you want me to sit in this thing. He goes, just try it out and see if you're comfortable. I go, okay, I'm going to humor you only because I do a radio show, and this will make for good broadcasting, and I'll probably be on the air tomorrow. And sure enough, it's Tuesday morning, and my boss will be humored by it as well.
Oh yeah, I'm very humored by this one.
I can sit in this chair, and I'm swimming in it. I'm swimming in this chair. I can do the backstroke, the breaststroke, the side stroke, and fancy diving too. And he says, well, it's only 20 inches wide. I said, try 20 inches too wide.
Oh, God, that's bad. That's bad. All right. We're gonna end here with some Zendaya here. But that's a great way to end here. And check us out tomorrow. We'll have another 2 hours here for you of the best in Christmas period and entertainment.
Ciao, belli ragazzi.
Who's that dude in the cherry red suit tearing up the floor tonight? He's shaking his hips, got a sack full of gifts and a beard that's crazy white. He's got the party rocking, candy canes and stockings, dancing like he's Michael, spinning like the vinyl, sleigh bells
way.